Okay, so now we're going to get into the movie categories. I was contemplating whether or not to divide this video in two. Perhaps I still will, although looking at the time here, I think we have a little bit of time to go through some of the movie categories, but I wouldn't hold your breath because I am shocked at how few films I have checked out from this nominations list. Like truly, I have watched barely any of them, and that is because a lot of these films' release schedules, the release dates are kind of up in the air at the moment. Many of these films have only had limited releases to even qualify for awards season, so I haven't seen a large majority of them, so I won't be going into deep conversation, won't be delving in deep into the performances or any aspects of these films because I literally just haven't seen them. So I'm going to mention some of the nominations that kind of shocked me, made me interested, made me excited, and just kind of overall share my thoughts on the nominations list for the movie categories. The first category up is Best Performance by an Actor in a Motion Picture Drama, and here the nominees are Mahershala Ali for Swan Song, Javier Bardem for Being the Ricardos, Benedict Cumberbatch for The Power of the Dog, Will Smith for King Richard, and Denzel Washington for The Tragedy of Macbeth. So out of all of these films, I have only watched The Power of the Dog on Netflix and King Richard. And if you've checked out my review of King Richard, you already know where I stand with this list. You already know. You already know. Hollywood Foreign Press Association, don't play with me now. Don't play with me now. I don't care that I haven't seen some of these other performances, although I say that, but Denzel Washington and Mahershala Ali, that's interesting. That's interesting. Okay, I might change my mind after seeing some of these other films, not gonna lie. But in this point in time, okay, I'm happy to be potentially momentarily wrong and say that Will Smith absolutely deserves to run home with this award. At this point in time, I would say give it over to Will Smith immediately, post haste. But like I said, Mahershala Ali, Denzel Washington, that's tough. And next up we have Best Performance by an Actress in a Motion Picture Drama. Here the nominees are Jessica Chastain for The Eyes of Tammy Faye, Olivia Colman for The Lost Daughter, Nicole Kidman for Being the Ricardos, Lady Gaga for House of Gucci, and Kristen Stewart for Spencer. So I've actually seen quite a few of these films. The only ones that I haven't seen is The Lost Daughter and Being the Ricardos. I actually thought that came out last week on Amazon Prime, but maybe it's different in the UK, I don't know. But I will check it out at some points, maybe. Nicole Kidman is here because she's Nicole Kidman, and you know, I haven't really heard much about her performance in that film, so I think it's just like a Nicole Kidman thing. Someone who I have heard a lot about, and I did hear a lot about from the very beginning, is Kristen Stewart for her performance in Spencer. I quite controversially do not think that she deserves as much praise as she is getting for her performance in that film, and in fact I have a whole video comparing Spencer to Diana from 2013, so if you want to hear my thoughts on that, check out the video. Say it in the back. I've just been, you know, making quite a few reviews, even though it doesn't always feel like it. But I'm very happy to see Lady Gaga. Very happy to see Lady Gaga. Listen, she hustled and she got the job done. Like, she got her Golden Globe nomination, and the next stop is the Oscars. Like, what can I say? This is what she wanted, and I think she does deserve to be here. You know, her performance was quite jazzy, was quite interesting. So yeah, like, good for her for making it on this list. Now, ultimately, I would say that the front runner, at least as of a few months ago, would be Kristen Stewart in Spencer. I just haven't heard a lot about the other performances on this list. And you know, Jessica Chastain in The Eyes of Tammy Faye, I think she was actually excellent in that film, but I haven't really heard much talk about her performance there, so I wouldn't be surprised if it becomes, you know, overlooked over time. That's ironic, Eyes of Tammy Faye. Anyways, but yeah, there's not much to be said really. So far, it looks like Kristen Stewart might be taking this one home, which I disagree with, but I'm not like furious or anything. I don't think she gave a bad performance. I just don't think she was Princess Diana. But like I said, I discussed it in the video. I'm going to skip over Best Supporting Actor in a Motion Picture Drama because I've literally barely seen any of the films in that category. It's not even worth mentioning. I have seen 4 out of the 5 films in the Best Supporting Actress category. So here are the nominees. We have Catriona Balfe in Belfast, Ariana DeBose in West Side Story, Kirsten Dunst in The Power of the Dog, Anjanou Ellis in King Richard, and Ruth Negga in Passing. So the only film that I haven't seen from this category is Belfast, which is due to be released in the UK on the 6th of January. So like soon we'll get to see this Kenneth Branagh film that everyone's buzzing about. But in the case of all of these other performances, first of all, phenomenal performances all around. I do think that Kirsten Dunst was great in The Power of the Dog. She was playing a very sad, drunken, depressed character who felt suffocated in her own home, and I think she did a great job doing so. I also really enjoyed Ruth Negga's performance in Passing. I think that was a very important portrayal of this light-skinned mixed race woman who was passing as a white woman in the early 20th century, and this being explored through the lens of Rebecca Hall in her directorial debut, and she herself has some black ancestry and has been passing this entire time, at least in my eyes, because I had no idea. I had no idea, and I think that's the point. Yeah, I do think that Passing was a very interesting film. It's a shame that the structure of the film couldn't leave me as engaged from the beginning to the end, but I do think Ruth Negga was great in the film. In the case of Anjanou Ellis, by the way, I'm not sure how to pronounce her name, so I could be mispronouncing that as well. Let me know down in the comments if that's the case, but she was phenomenal in King Richard, and she's actually one of my top 2. I would say it would either be Anjanou Ellis in King Richard or Ariana DeBose in West Side Story. Are you joking? Are you joking? Because this category isn't split between drama and musical / comedy, we have a combination of both for supporting actress. But man, if they were split up in 2 different categories, I would say that Anjanou Ellis absolutely would win in Best Supporting Actress Drama, and Ariana would absolutely win in Best Supporting Actress in a Comedy or Musical. As it stands, either 2 of these ladies should absolutely take the award home. I can't choose between them. I can't choose between them. Ariana's dancing in West Side Story. Are you kidding? The America scene alone. The America dance sequence alone. And then next up we have Best Motion Picture Drama overall. Here the nominees are Belfast, Coda, Dune, King Richard, and The Power of the Dog. Who would I say should win? King Richard. Yeah. King Richard, absolutely. Some of you Dune fans are going to get upset with me. I'm not revisiting the Dune saga. I am not ready to revisit the Dune saga, okay? I'll just say that I want King Richard to win and we'll swiftly move along. Now, there's also some interesting things going on with Best Actors in a Comedy or Musical. Emma Stone is nominated for her performance in Cruella, which I think is fun. Other than that, I haven't seen many of these films yet, so like they just haven't come out. Don't Look Up is coming out like this week, so we're gonna see if Jennifer Lawrence deserves her nod here. Rachel Zegler in West Side Story was really great, and I'm glad to see that she's gotten a nod for her performance as well, but so far it's a bit up in the air for me. Like, if I had to guess, if Jennifer Lawrence is good in Don't Look Up, then she'll likely take this home because she is an industry favorite and she's making somewhat of a comeback with this film. And then when it comes to the actors in a comedy / musical, again, Leonardo DiCaprio in Don't Look Up, maybe, like maybe, you know, it's Leonardo DiCaprio doing a Netflix movie. Like, crazier things have happened, so he made take this home because, you know, he's doing a Netflix movie and he deserves something for that, right? Peter Dinklage in Cyrano. I've literally never heard of that. Haven't seen that film. Andrew Garfield in Tick, Tick, Boom. Good for him. Like, good for him. He was great in Tick, Tick, Boom. So I do think he deserves the nod here. But I don't know if that's enough for the Leonardo DiCaprio storm coming ahead. Like, I'm telling you, if Leonardo DiCaprio is remotely good in Don't Look Up, he'll probably take this one home just off of the basis that he's Leonardo DiCaprio doing a comedy for Netflix. And also, I'm very happy to see Anthony Ramos get a nod for In the Heights. I feel like that film was, you know, largely overlooked in favor for West Side Story, which, to be fair, is a superior film, I guess. But yeah, good for Anthony Ramos. He was great in The Heights. So then overall, we have Best Picture, musical or comedy. And once again, we have Cyrano, Don't Look Up, Licorice Pizza, Licorice? No idea what that is. Is that how you spell licorice? I don't know. Tick, Tick, Boom, Swiftly Moving Along, and West Side Story. I think West Side Story will likely take this, especially considering that it is directed by that obscure indie director that's up and coming. I believe he's called Steven Spielberg, something along those lines. I may be mistaken, but you know, Hollywood seems pretty excited about him. Like, it looks like he may have a promising career ahead, so I think he may take the gold home just to start things off on a good note. And finally, it would not be a true awards nominations reaction video without some acknowledgement of the animated movie category. So for Best Motion Picture Animated, we have Encanto, Flea, Luca, My Sunny Mad, and Raya and the Last Dragon. So 3 out of these 5 films are Disney/Disney adjacent, aka Pixar. I really love the fact that Luca is here, despite the fact that Disney tried to shove Pixar into the Disney Plus box. I do think that Luca deserved a theatrical release. I think it was a really fun, charming, endearing movie that was beautifully animated as per usual. It was different, you know, from the usual Pixar fare, but I do feel like it deserved a theatrical release, and I do feel like it deserved to be seen by the world because it was a truly beautiful story. But ultimately, I do think that Encanto, this time around from Disney proper, is the front runner in the animation category, because it just is the strongest film in this list. Raya and the Last Dragon didn't quite have the same impact as Encanto. It wasn't quite as tight of a film as Encanto was, so I am really excited to see how this race goes, but I do predict that Encanto will be the one to take it home, whereas Pixar took home all of the animation awards for Soul last year. But that's it from me. Now that I told you guys my thoughts on the Golden Globes 2022 nominations list, it's time for you guys to let me know what you thought of these nominations down in the comments below. Please be sure to subscribe to catch you videos coming up. It's going to be a crazy week because it is Spider-Man week after all, so there's going to be a lot of great content coming your way, so please be sure to subscribe to make sure you catch that. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.